Hi, everyone. It's Lorraine with BJK University. I'm one of the coaches here, and I'm one of the mentors here who inspires people along the way. We have over 6,000 students here, and I've gotten to know quite a few, quite a few, and they are amazing people. Now, there's something they all have in common. We're going to get a little bit real in this video this time because many of you are watching and you're sitting on the fence and kind of trying to figure out what to do with your life. Some of you have the entrepreneurial spirit. You know, inside there's more. There's more. I have to find out what it is. But the one thing I do need is I need mentors. Every successful person on this planet who is successful has mentors, somebody who's guided them, somebody who's inspired them, and somebody who has taught them things so that they don't make mistakes or as many. You'll always make mistakes because inside we have this thing that we want to do things on our own. We'll do it my way. And then the mentor will be like, well, you really need to do it this way. And yeah, but that's the worst saying in the world is yeah, but. Yeah, but that means you're making excuses because you know what? Go ahead and do it. And then when you're ready, come back. Okay. You hired me for a reason. And they always come back. It's like, you know what? It didn't work out. Okay, let's try this way. And they do, and it succeeds. So we're here for a reason. We're here to help you and we're here to move you forward, but we're not going to sugarcoat anything for you. We don't sit there and say, yeah, okay. No, I'm like, no, I would not do that. And here's why. And then I make sure that we allow the person to see what we see and why with data, hardcore data. We give it to them. It's like, oh, I didn't see that. Exactly. Okay, so how about we try it this way? And it's like, okay, that makes sense. There we go. And then they'll move forward. And each time we move the needle forward, 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 they launch and they become successful. They do a really well job, really, really well job, done job. So now, what does it take to be an entrepreneur? It takes courage. It takes courage to get off the fence. Get off the fence of sitting there and watching everybody else and complaining. Well, look at this person. They're making so much money. They must be doing this. You need to be happy for them. When you're happy for somebody that they're making a lot of money or they're on the golf course doing this, because people who do these things and go out shopping and on the golf cart, that is a way of freeing your mind, not boasting that I'm rich and I can do this and I can do that. Other people are taking pictures of them, blasting it and saying stuff. So, whatever it is, if somebody's doing successful things, be happy for them. That comes back to you. Every positive thing you put out there comes back. Every negative thing you do sets your mindset. Yeah, but it's so expensive to do. No, actually, no, it's not. A real entrepreneur knows other people's money. We all know other people's money. It gets you where you want to be. The one complaint we hear the most is, yeah, but I got to go in debt. First of all, there's the yeah, but. Yeah, but that's an excuse. That's an excuse to run back to that, safety zone, the hamster wheel of life. So everybody's on this. When we get into the workforce, when you get into the college, the workforce, and all that, you're on the hamster wheel of life. And if you keep going on the hamster wheel of life, you will be controlled for those taxes. This is how it's done. Entrepreneurs jump off the hamster wheel, they open the door, and they realize there's a whole different world out there. And there's opportunity everywhere. Yeah, but how do I go and get it? Sure. Let's find out how we go and get it. We do a little bit of research and we talk to people and listen to people with credibility, people who have been there before, people who are credible, not just every guru on the internet boasting about this, that, and the other thing. They're just there to take your money. You need people who are credible with a proven track record, who are successful, and actually have your best interest at heart. That's who you want to listen to. Okay. So, with that said, people, the next one, what's the next excuse? Oh, it's so expensive. No, no, it's not. What if there's financing? So, yeah, but I'll go in debt. I don't want to go in debt. I'm like, okay, so you're going paycheck to paycheck now. You're miserable in what you're doing. You don't like your boss. You don't like the mundane. You're losing time with family. All these pains that you have, they're there every single day. But then you sit and complain and complain and complain and complain. Tell me what that complaint actually earned you. Negativity in your brain to keep going on the same thing and getting up on that fence and sitting there and watching the world pass you by. When I pass, I plan on going to heaven. I plan on sliding into home base and saying, woohoo, what a freaking ride that was. You know, I'm grabbing this by the huevos, you know? I'm seriously grabbing whatever I can. I want to decide, what do I want to do next? What is it that I really want to do, and what can earn me money, and where can I find mentors so that can get me to my goal? Always know what your goal is. Put your goals up on a picture frame and put it on your desk and stare at it every time you open up the computer and go onto Facebook, look at it. What am I doing now, and what is it earning me? Well, I'm losing time watching cats. Now, that's lost time. That's something you can never get back, is time. So when you want to be an entrepreneur, start researching. Use your chat GPT, use your Claude AI, use certain things about market, on the market, what's the best thing for me, knowing what you know about, because we've all been chatting with chat GPT and it gets to know things about your habits and things like that. Can actually pick out something that you might be really good at. You know, it's like, well, I'd like to sell on Amazon, but I wouldn't know where to start. It's like, well, okay, what your interests so far are you have a wonderful cat, you enjoy working on your computer, you like candles, you like foo-foo things, or you like working with your hands. And notice that you have a lot of muscle car up there. Well, how about we look down this road? It's like, oh, that's great. Okay, you need to give it a criteria. Well, I'm looking for something with the least amount of competitors that are out there, but it does sell really well. And I'm looking at the price range of maybe 35 to $55 for sale, but I need to be able to source it for really inexpensive. It's like, okay, can you list about 5 of these products? And it's like, it will do that for you. It's like, okay, now all I need is to get some mentors to show me how to launch this thing. Well, can't ChatGPT? ChatGPT doesn't run an Amazon store. Okay. So no, it can't. YouTube can't show you everything. They never do. They always leave out important things so that you'll come back to them. Okay. So when it's like dangling a piece of meat in front of the lion and then moving it away a little bit. I'll give you a little. It gets a bite and it keeps on wanting more and more, and it never gets it. So then it feels frustrated. So we are frustrated when we're trying to do something and learn on these little snippets everywhere, because they don't give you everything. You actually need to be in with real people, a real community, people helping you out, people guiding you along the way. This is value. That's where the value is. But you need to put in the work and you need to get in there every day. This is your business. It's a real business. Okay. The best thing about it is, on a brick and mortar like 7-Eleven or a dental office or things like this, or we're going to open up a little clothing store, it takes at least 5 years before you start seeing any kind of real profit. Well, with Amazon, you can see it in the first year. And that's the fun part about Amazon. And Amazon is growing. It's not stopping. There are many people that dropped off, or, lost interest, or for this, that, or the other thing. Oh, life got in the way. And, so as many drop off, more others join. But the difference is, it's about the same as it was before. They say there's like 9,000 people selling on Amazon. I'm like, no, they're not. No, there are not. Okay. That's how many people opened an account, not selling, not are actively selling. This is the number you want to know. Okay. And then you realize that there's way less than you think, way less than you think. But the market is increasing in revenues. That's why Amazon works. So you don't get all the information. When you know the information by people who are actually going to give it to you, it makes your decision making a whole lot easier. So when you're looking for mentors, stop worrying about, oh, but it costs so much. Oh, but this, you'll go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for a house and go in debt. Okay. You'll spend hundreds of thousands, or you spend thousands of dollars on a truck, and now you're in debt on that one too. You'll get an education. Now you're in debt on that one too. And other things that you're doing, and you have credit cards and you're in debt. And it's like, how am I going to pay for them? How am I going to do this? But you keep on doing it, and you keep on going to the mundane, wanting more and more. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That is insane. Okay. So what do? We make decisions. The difference between somebody who is not a real entrepreneur and somebody who is a real entrepreneur, first of all, you feel it to your core. You really feel that there's something more. I know I can do it. I just need to find out what it is. Okay. And when you find it, you don't look back. You don't use the in your mindset. It's called limited beliefs. We're trained this way. This way, we stay on the hamster wheel. We're always trained to stay on that hamster wheel. We're trained for fear. If you fear going out on your own, then we can keep you here and guarantee that our taxes are paid over here. We can guarantee it's a controlled environment where fear is there to keep you there. But the person with the strong mind says, screw that. Uh-uh. I know what I want and I'm going after it. 5 years old. 5 years old, my dad told me, you can do and be whatever you want. You just have to want it bad enough. Do you want it bad enough? And he would ask me that. And he's like, Dad, I got a B plus. I know I want to get an A in this one this year. He says, do you want it bad enough? That he would always be his go-to. Do you want it bad enough? And he would make it so it would just hit my core. And I'm like, yes, I do. I want it bad enough. He's like, all right. He said, let's go get you a tutor to get that B plus up. I'm like, okay, because there's obviously something you're missing that you're not getting on your own, that somebody who is there ahead of you that can mentor you through this will get you there. And so that's when I learned about mentorship. Young ages, young ages. And he's like, we'll get you somebody who knows. And that's what mentorship is. You getting somebody who knows. And that makes your journey a whole lot easier. Yeah, but the debt. Yeah, but the debt. Listen, you're investing in yourself. What better thing is there to invest in than yourself for your own future? Yeah, but there's risk. Isn't there? I need a guarantee. There's no such thing. If anybody tells you there's a guarantee, they're bullshitting you. Okay? There's no guarantee tomorrow will show up. It's up to God. If he decides it's over here tomorrow, done. Okay? Anything you do in life, there's no guarantee. I got to go to the grocery store. Risk, risk, risk. Oh, but the risk. Oh, but the risk. Okay. You got to go to the grocery store. Think about this. You're going to get into a 2-ton vehicle going 50 miles an hour. Coming at you in the opposite direction are other vehicles going the same amount of speed. Okay. 50, 60 miles in another 2-ton vehicle. One sleight of the hand and the vehicle's coming at you. Okay. Now that's the impact of at least 120 miles right at each other. Every day you take the kids to school. Every day I got to go to the store to get bread to get the kids lunch. You think nothing of it. It's a risk. Thing you do is a risk. Going to the restroom is a risk. You could trip, fall down, hit your head on the tub. Everything we do is a risk, but you place recognizable risk on a business and say, I want a guarantee. There's no such thing as a guarantee. It all depends on you. Everything that you do in your life depends on you. It's not society. Okay. I see many people who have pulled up their bootstraps and gotten out of situations because they were determined and they met in business. They're doing it. They're not looking back. When you are an entrepreneur, you make a decision. You plant your feet firmly on the ground and you never look back. Everything is forward. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, where do I go for this? Okay, and then when you have a mentor guiding you each step of the way, well, where do I go for this? You go right here. Oh, okay. Okay, what do I do here? You do this. It's like, okay. And you keep going and you keep going and you go with that enthusiasm, knowing what waits you in your future. This is an entrepreneur. This is the person that succeeds. The person who gets in there every day, takes advantage of every opportunity. That's the person who succeeds because they mean business. They don't have limited belief in like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, I'm a little bit afraid. Oh, I'm shy. Listen, stop. If you are a true entrepreneur and you want to change your future, then change it. Just do it. Take the courage and do it. No more excuses. Just do it. Now, other people will complain about you because you're successful. They do it all the time. And that's fine with me because I'm going to put the positive. I'm just, well, bless your heart. You know, when you're ready to do the same thing, you let me know. Okay. But no complaining. That's the word at the door. You leave the complaints at the door. Everything is positive. Everything is moving forward. Let's do this. So if you really want to be an entrepreneur and you want to change your future, create a vision board. Create that vision board and put it by your desk every morning. I use it on my screensaver. And when I reach one of those goals, I take one thing off the vision board and I put something new. It's a living, breathing, uh, it's a living, breathing vision board. Okay. Because it never ends. It never ends. My goals get bigger. My goals keep moving. I want them to keep going. I'm not going to be to the point where I've achieved everything. And no, it's like the sky is the limit because it's so vast and so open. Maybe my next goal is small, but I want to get that. I want to do that. Maybe it's I want to go zip lining. I've never done it before, but I want to do it in Bali. You know, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to work towards that. I can put the trip on my credit card. I can do this. I want to be set up where maybe I can take my family with me. So let's go hit a next target as an entrepreneur. And then we're off to Bali to go zip lining. These things are fun. When you can plan things that plan an exciting future, that's who you become. That is your future self, and it becomes your identity. When you are an entrepreneur, that becomes your identity. And then you have power. There's power behind that. There's power in the mindset, and there's power in the things that you do in decision making. So when you're ready to become a true entrepreneur, go ahead and reach out to us. If you need anything else, I'll be here next week and we'll have a new video going forward. I'll see you next time. Aloha. Ciao.